aspect of the Ori, it is noted that we are all birthed into this world accompanied by a personal guardian Orisha, who in fact is our truest self, the source of our energy. Your Ori is you, and you are your Ori. This is ours to have and takes no acceptance of its presence or ritual that cleanses us from the impurity of our conception as a result of the sin of man entering the course of woman. Your Ori holds the portion of divinity and destiny that you were appropriated in Horum, which is heaven, prior to your arrival here in Aye, which is earth. It is your individualized ration of the supreme consciousness that maintains the motion of the universe. It is commonly stated in regards to Ori that it is the container for a person's destiny, and that destiny is predetermined in Orum. It is the author's deduction that a person's Ori represents more of a preordained path rather than a predestined path. The predestined path would be one that would not require effort on the part of the owner of that Ori or head. For example, if one is predestined to be a person of great notoriety and success and live a life of opulence and comfort, then it would be logical to presuppose that individual would not have to do anything to support or motivate the materialization of that type of existence. We know, as a side note, this is antithetical to even the process that you're undergoing right now, which is raising your spirit vibration. So you would have to do no type of work or put no contribution to your own development if your life was completely predestined. Your Ori is positioned at your crown, brow, and navel chakra, points to name a few. Okay. Your Ori is will/drive, but has not character. Your Ori defers to the various Orisha consciousness in order to express itself with the most appropriate character in a given situation. For instance, if your Ori deems it necessary for you to face a situation in order to move from fear to fearlessness, it may utilize the Shango consciousness in order for it to accomplish what is desired. The Shango consciousness will serve as the vehicle for character, while the Ori is the propulsion of manifestation for that Shango force. Your Ori has multiple aspects that all function in coalition with one another. You have your Ori, which is your conscious mind, your Ara, which is your physical body temple, your Ori Inu, this is your inner self, your superconscious mind, your Ori Ipako, this is your connection to your extended family, your Ori Ipori, this is your true spirit about to astral travel every night. You know, so silver is used to make sure that you make it back home, your entire soul, and a portion doesn't get trapped somewhere else. It's also used to invoke higher consciousness and elevated awareness and things like that. But, you know, like I said, it's said that your astral body is connected to your physical body by a silver chain. And that's a universal concept. That's not just coming out of the Yoruba construct. Interesting enough, also in the Yoruba creation account, we're told that Obatala descends from Orum to Aye, which we know to be heaven to earth, or the fifth dimension to the third dimension. And this is a part of the creation story, how the life was created in civilization on the planet, and he descends on a silver chain. And I would say this chain could be symbolic to the DNA double helix, and the idea of a spirit entity or your true expression of yourself forming and inhabiting a physical body from a spiritual genesis. So that silver chain, that chain connect is very important to understand. But we'll get into the Obatala energy a bit more as we travel through our Orisha studies. And as a side note for hands-on implementation, you know, I can tell you one great way to strengthen your Ori is to wear silver. Even placing silver coins in your pocket is very effective. You can make a silver elixir to drink or to wash your head with by just taking spring water or river water and pouring it into a silver cup, stating your affirmations over it. and either drinking it or pouring it over your head. Okay, and in dealing with the metals, again, I had mentioned copper earlier, and using pennies. It's important to know that when you want to use copper, use pennies, to try to find one that is dated prior to 1981. Prior to 1981, pennies were 97% copper and 3% zinc. Whereas after 1981, they were 3% copper and 97% zinc. It's not to say that zinc doesn't have value, but for our purposes, we like to use copper. And even brothers too, if you don't want to wear waist beads, which I don't blame you because I'm not wearing waist beads, you could even take a piece of fabric and wrap it around your midsection. If you're going to be in a space that is spiritually injurious, like if you have to go to court, the attachment to humanity, or you're going to be in an environment. The Grosban Ange is the spirit being aware of itself, self-actualization, and its attachment to the greater, or what some would call the supreme or universal divinity. The Grosban Ange is the portion of life force that makes the human body an animate being. This is an individual ration of the eternal spiritual energy and life force, which is shared by all humans. Now, I say all humans because it's important to understand that the Grosban Ange is what keeps us connected to everything, where people say, well, it's all one, or one love, one God, one aim, one life. Those are concepts that are birthed or have birthed the concept of the Grosban Ange. The Grosban Ange and the energy surrounding with it evolves with the rest of the cosmos, and it aims to eventually become deified. So the Grosban Ange is about the universal evolution of not only yourself but the planet. Okay, because this planet, you should know that is part of a much bigger system, a much bigger ecological system. When you get a moment, I would suggest you go to NASA's website, and on that site there's diagrams of the planet in relationship to other planets, and what it does is it basically gives you an understanding of and I'm talking about the physical size of the planet Earth as compared to, let's say, Pluto, or compared to Venus, compared to the Sun and the other planets that exist in the solar system. And even with that, when you realize the ratio of the sizes, you might not even call it solar system, because after seeing that, it's very difficult to imagine that the entire system that we're a part of revolves around this tiny sun, which is greatly larger than the planet that we live on, but much smaller than the other planet entities in this galaxy. Once you realize that, the planet Earth is nothing but an electron revolving around a greater nucleus. All right, but we'll, as always, get into the more of the astrology. But the Grosban Ange